Welcome. What are we doing here? What up, Reef? What's the word? Nigga, what you doing up? Reef, what you doing up? Let me find out you out there beating your meat, boy. It's gonna be an issue.
Right this way, Kratos. Come in. Come in!
Come in.
Now,
Come in.
if you would just wipe your feet very thoroughly, I'll wait. You're not gonna wipe your feet, are you? Okay then. Your bedrooms are there, the kitchen is just over there. Anybody need a snack? Kratos? Snack?
I do not need a snack.
What we need
I do not
is your
need a
help getting to
snack.
Sparto Farm so we can try and rescue Tyr.
To Tyr. Alive? I mean, that's...
347.
What?
It's okay. I told him everything.
Everything?
You aided my son and disobeyed me.
No,
Kratos about to beat that ass. Poseidon. Should have been up. Rock has enough material for us. I gotta get this. The axe is good.
I only got materials to make one of these in the here and now. You bring me more resources, we'll see what we can do. If the kid's gonna insist on getting taller, best make a habit of swinging in for new duds. Found some items you left behind, tossed them in the chest. What would you do without me?
I'm gonna go look around. Check out my room. Tell Sindri when you're ready.
wait! Those stairs will not support you. Please don't break my house.
This place is great, Sindri. You built it all yourself?
You know it.
originally founded.
Team.
Finding everything all right, I hope?
Loading up, heading into next season, despite trading Luka Doncic to the Lakers for 10-time
Follow me.
All-Star Anthony
And be
Davis.
sure to bring the head.
The Mavs hope for a generational pairing. After drafting the #1 consensus player in the country in Cooper Flagg, the Rockets made a big splash this past Sunday with the acquisition of 15-time All-Star Kevin Durant from the Suns, pairing KD with the likes of young rising star Amen Thompson. And let's not forget about the Spurs. After acquiring De'Aaron Fox from the Kings last season, San Antonio looks
where
forward
exactly
to
is
having
Tear
him
Big
and the
Hill?
French sensation
in prison
Victor
in their mind
Wembanyama
somewhere.
for a full
That's all we know so
season.
far.
Danny, which Texas
Realm
duo are you the
full of
highest
drama,
on?
you realize.
I may sound a little biased here, but I'm looking at the Spurs.
You should talk
I
to
want to
Durham.
see a hell of a Wemby and a De'Aaron Fox. We never got a chance to get them at full strength last year. Obviously, everybody's interested in seeing what KD looks like too, but for me, it's that duo and seeing how Wemby bounces back from that blood clot issue and De'Aaron Fox from his surgery. So
I agree.
they have a great good core around them. They just drafted Dylan, Harper. They have
Did you know
Stephon
about that?
Castle. They have so many good young pieces. Vassell, you got Keldon Johnson over
Sounds like
there.
exactly
Jeremy
what we need.
Sohan. Like they have a really great young core. So I want to see how they can do it. And I think they need one of those teams to turn around fully and not be, obviously a lot of last year, but going from that to being probably a top 6 seed in the West, top 6 seed in the West, excuse me.
Big man, who do you have your eye on? Big man, who do you have your eye on? Big man, who do you have your eye on? Big man, who do you have your eye on?
Shot the Danny Green win goes first go, right? You win championships somewhere, you should be a little bit biased. But look, this is honestly, there's a no wrong answer situation here. There's reason for excitement with all of these duos. I'm going to go with Kevin Durant and Amen Thompson. And the tiebreaker there is I think they have the best team. I think they have the best situation in terms of being able to make a deep playoff run. Amen Thompson is one of the best defensive players in the league, just spectacular in transition. But this team had a massive glaring hole in terms of the go-to guy. You bring in Kevin Durant, who can get 27 points per game in his sleep, 30,000 plus points, still playing at an elite level. And I do expect that the Houston Rockets are going to be playing into May, potentially even deep May.
Molly, I don't know the answer to this question. I honestly, I don't. I think part of it is we don't know necessarily who the duos are. What I mean, you talk about Wemby and De'Aaron Fox. Certainly, those guys are top of the game. But what if Phil Harper is the kind of player?
Rockets are going to be playing into May, potentially even deep May.
Molly, I don't know the answer to this question. I honestly, I don't. I think part of it is we don't know necessarily who the duos are. What I mean, you talk about Wemby and De'Aaron Fox. Certainly, those guys are top of the game. But what if Dylan Harper is the kind of player that the Spurs and a lot of people think he is? What if their new duo, with all due respect to De'Aaron Fox, what if their duo ends up being Dylan Harper and Victor Wembanyama, and then you have Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox? Now you're talking about a different conversation altogether. I'm going to say the same thing about Dallas. This is not really a duo situation. This is a trio. when Kyrie Irving gets healthy, we're talking about Kyrie and Cooper Flag and AD. That's very powerful. And you know, it's really hard to build a big three in the modern NBA because of the new rules, the new CBA rules, except when one of them is on their rookie contract, which Cooper Flag is going to be for the next 4 years. And then in Houston, I kind of, you know, if I had to pick a team now that I like to win, I like Houston, like McMahon said, because I think KD, adding to that roster, and I am as high on Amen Thompson as I am on any young player in the league. And again,
it was a good take.
Amen Thompson is on a rookie scale contract, but that leaves out their all-star. Their all-star is Alperen Şengün. And so
that's a good point, but I think I think right now I would say the Rockets have the best duo because KD has proven that. I mean, it's KD. He doesn't have to prove anything. We know what he's capable of. And then we have Cooper Flag that's a rookie, so we don't really know much about him in terms of, well, we know enough in terms of his potential, but we haven't seen him do anything in the NBA, so we still have to see if that chemistry will work between Kyrie, AD, and Cooper Flag. And can Cooper Flag play with the big boys, and can he be effective? Can he live up to the expectation? So that's the question everybody wants to know. But KD, obviously, Amen Thompson has been in the league for 2 years, also went to the playoff his second year. So he's proven that he can be a lockdown defender and also improve offensively. You know, he's not the best shooter, but he can improve. So I think right now I would go with Houston.
what makes this so remarkable? It's a really good construct of a question because it's a really good, you know, who do you like the best? But these teams are deeper than these duos.
Okay, let's put it this way. I love the appreciation you're having for the league, but you know, if Big Perk was here right now, he'd tell you this is first take, and you need to pick a side. But I'll work with you a little bit. What are you most excited to see right now?
Most excited to see with McMahon is Amen and Durant because I think their skill sets potentially, especially if they're going to complement each other on the wings, potentially very, very interesting. But I will say, Cooper Flag is going to be fascinating to watch. But if you're backing me into a corner, I will say the Rockets.
Danny?
Interesting take. No love for Cooper Flag and Anthony Davis from anybody here. I'm interested in seeing that. I picked the Spurs because I just think they can turn it around. Houston does have the better team right now. But if healthy, I think Dallas, honestly.
I forgot I didn't mention the Spurs. But yeah, even with the Spurs, with Dylan Harper, we still have to see these guys play. So I'm still going to go with KD, Amen Thompson, or Şengün. Or KD and Şengün, KD and Amen, however you want to put it. But I won't be shocked if the Spurs end up doing some amazing thing this year.
So it could be the team to give OKC their toughest run. They could be one of the best teams in the West between Houston and Dallas. So, yeah, Wendy, I love the fact that you're looking at the trios, but we got to pick a duo here. And I guess I can settle with Kevin Durant, Amen Thompson. That's a good second for me anyway.
I talked him into it.
Yeah, Tim, why no love for Cooper and AD?
Isn't your father's aura off the charts in his true classic outfit?
Isn't my inveterate inebriate? I suppose he might have completely changed, but in my experience,
Do you want to come with us?
No wrong answers here, and I will say, obviously, everybody is extremely excited to see Cooper Flag, and especially early in the season, when Kyrie, unfortunately, will be recovering from a torn ACL, he's not going to be on the floor. Cooper Flag is going to have a chance to really spread his wings. Jason Kidd sees a lot of Grant Hill type of characteristics. Remember Detroit Grant Hill? That was a bad dude. And Cooper Flag is going to have a chance to be a point forward, to have the ball in his hands a lot. Not sole responsibility, but like Jay Kidd did with Giannis, he's going to put the ball in his hands and see what he can do with it.
So Cooper Flag is being compared to Grant Hill. I don't even know if people know how great Grant Hill was. Like, Grant Hill was pretty much, you know how every newcomers or every new prodigy come in the league, they automatically get compared to Kobe. That's what they were doing with Grant Hill. Grant Hill was literally supposed to be D1, but obviously injuries. I remember, Kobe, T-Mac at some point, but Grant Hill was that dude. You can go watch tapes, him giving Chicago Bulls buckets. So, but injury kind of derailed his career. And yeah, there's a video where he was cooking the Bulls and he was destroying Scottie. And you know Scottie Pippen is a lockdown defender. You feel me? So him being compared to Grant Hill, that's a hell of a comparison. So if Cooper Flag can live up to the expectation, man, he's gonna have a great career. But let's continue.
And, you know, this is a guy, there's the Grant Hill comparison. There's also a Kawhi comparison with what he can do defensively. Obviously, there's a ton of excitement about Cooper Flag, so much so that I think that some of those folks who promised him to show up to the...
He's getting a lot of high praise.
They'll have their butts right back in those seats.
High
with
praise.
number 32 jerseys on.
I think we're giving Cooper Flag a lot of credit here early
Hey,
on.
that's what I'm saying.
Grant Hill was a realist, that he was a bad dude.
I was just saying it. I ain't even... You know what I'm saying?
I think the reason why a lot of us have not chosen the Cooper Flag Anthony Davis is because Cooper Flag hasn't been proven yet.
Thank
he
you.
has to still learn a lot. Amin Thompson has shown what he can do. De'Aaron Fox can show
Literally, that's what I just said.
Obviously, Wemby has too, and Kevin Durant. So we're waiting to see what Cooper Flag can bring. Obviously, we know he's an unbelievable talent. He's gifted, and we expect some big things from him. I think he's going to be in a situation where he can learn a lot. So we don't know what he's going to look like yet. Obviously, there's these comparisons of Grant Hill, but I haven't given him that type of credit just yet, or those type of flowers just yet until I see it. So I think that's why they're in last place for me in the duos on the top duo list.
All right, let's push it forward, but stay in the...
Me too.
They really want to extend his contract. They can't do that for
Kyrie's
another
still
month
injured.
until August 2nd. In between now and then, though, they need to make sure that they improve their roster so that he's excited about signing a long-term contract extension. Specifically at the...
Now we're looking at the Lakers win horse. Lakers face crucial offseason with looming contract decision on Luka, LeBron, and Reeves.
center position. Also, LeBron James...
If you go on my page game on Blitz, you're going to see I literally posted he declined the $90 million that was offered to him. I believe, I don't know if it was 3 years or 4 years. I'm not, not sure. But yeah, he definitely declined it. If I was him, I would too. Austin Reeves is definitely worth more than it.
Has an option in the decision in his contract. He has to decide whether to opt out by Sunday. Expectation is he will opt in to his $53 million deal. Austin Reeves turned down a contract extension this week, but don't overreact to that. That was expected. The Lakers will hope to have him signed up to a new deal next year.
Lots going
on. Okay.
Excitement around obviously what they can be with Luka. LeBron still with at least, I guess, 1 year left. We don't know. But in order, they talk about championships in LA, like that's what matters. So how do they get back to that level?
Well, you would love to mirror what he did in Dallas when they had Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively. Unfortunately, both those players are probably not available to get them to Los Angeles here. It starts with the center position, but how do you go out and acquire one? They have the $5.7 million tax mid-level exception to go out and sign a player. It's a below average in total free agent market here. When you look at players like, certainly Luke Cornett is an interesting name. Jackson Hayes, who was here last year. Al Horford, who's 39 years old. Clint Capella is an interesting name. That is the priority. Now, outside of free agency, you're looking at the trade market. You're looking at the players on your own roster, whether it be Gabe Vincent or Rui Hachimura, Maxi Kleber, who are all on expiring contracts. You have $60 million plus, and you've got a first-round pick in 2031. But it takes two to tango. I was going through some names when I was sitting on the side here, and I'm having a hard time coming up with a true trade that the Lakers could do right now.
Tim, what do you think the Lakers' priority needs to be in these upcoming months?
Resign Luka.
Well, as Bobby said, the challenge here is figuring out who to plug into the holes the Lakers have. The holes are pretty clear. It starts with that center, preferably a rim-running center who can protect the rim, which has always been a great thing for Luka Doncic to have.
I said resign like he was already signed.
They need more shooting across the roster for guys like LeBron James and Luka Doncic to set up for open threes. One thing those guys are both excellent at doing. So, look. The thing to look at with the Lakers is, as you said, Roz, the goal is to win championships. They lost in 5 games in the first round to the Wolves. The Wolves lost in 5 games in the conference finals to the eventual champion Oklahoma City Thunder. That is the gap that we're talking about the Lakers having to make up. And to do that's going to require a lot of work and a lot of assets, which the latter of which the Lakers do not really have. So it's going to require a lot of creativity from Rob Pelinka, some use of the fact that they are in LA, the fact that they've got LeBron and Luka there to try to entice some guys to come. But it is not going to be easy for the Lakers to fill in these holes on their roster and catch up to a Thunder team that is the deepest team in the league, already one of the youngest champions ever, and is only going to be better with the experience they gained over the past couple of months.
Like the switch from LA to Milwaukee. Now, Wendy, we call that the reverse Kareem. What's go?
So yeah, I would say, I don't know what the hell that was. Oh, damn. Yeah, I think like with the Lakers, what they need to do, I do agree, they need to get a big. That was an issue in the playoff. Minnesota literally went and damn near destroyed them, annihilated them 4-1 in that series. I don't think Minnesota was a better team. I just think LA had a huge deficiency in their offense and their defense because of the lack of size. So that cost them a lot. And they had a 40-year-old LeBron playing center. Damn near tears Achilles, ACL, MCL, PCL, whatever you want to call it. They were literally butt. You know, and then sometimes, let me see. Let me whoop these niggas first. And then you have Luka not having, what you gonna call it? That pick and roll with a big that can come and set a screen and finish because what's the kid name? The big guy they had was terrible. I can't remember his name. But he was terrible. So I think getting a big would be very crucial. It would be helpful. And also, yeah, I think getting more shooters, you know, would be also good. Defense too can help. Luka can't play defense, but they drafted Adu Kerno, right? You know, he averaged 15 points and 5 rebounds, and he's very athletic and he can play defense. You know, that's good, but we also need shooters. What's going on? Okay, let me see.
Sixers roster.
That's so you want to, yeah.
With a very engaged Embiid.
If they're healthy.
He's very engaged.
I mean, if they're healthy, yeah. The way the East is, the East is open. So, you know, the Bucks they don't have Dame. Indiana Pacers, they're not going to come back the same without Tyrese. So if they are trying to make a run or try to make a run at it, this is the time this year. I think for Cleveland too and the Knicks, all of them, like this is the time for you to try to go get it. So if he's very engaged and
now we're looking at Philadelphia 76ers.
You know,
training camp.
I mean, this is your best opportunity for me to meet next year for you to try to win the championship or come out of the East.
Very engaged. Embiid in his rehab will be ready right around training camp. So let's move over to Sonny. Sonny, are you sold on this current Sixers roster? Is the process to be trusted?
What do I call it?
You call it processed meat.
And what is that, good for you or bad for you?
In general, processed meat is not the most ideal option. In the right situation.
So they're calling Joel Embiid a processed meat. That's not healthy at all.
Situation, the seasoning, sauce, I mean, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The glizzy will get it done.
Glizzy dogs and you know what I'm saying? But when you're talking about basketball, I want to pass on that type of shit. You want to be shitting all the time.
It does.
Constipation.
It does.
Yeah. A lot of that shit spew out onto the podcasts and shit.
It does not keep your stomach right.
No? You're not rolling? I wouldn't have told you. Philly's a fucking funeral. So it's just, yeah. But even with all the teams that are not coming back strong, you still don't think they can make some. Nah, they're gonna find a way to fuck it up. The city love the game more than the players.
So very passionate fans of Philadelphia. This is not for you. We respect your passion.
No, the Philly deserve it. They just won the Super Bowl. Then they own high horse.
Right.
They like, man, what?
So they should be trying to make moves to get all three of them out? Or just keep Tyrese?
How many times have they been in a rebuilding stage?
Well, it's been a process.
It has been processing.
So I'm just saying, you know, on the computer when that shit just keeps circling.
The buffering signal.
Like, how long you gonna let that motherfucker keep doing that before you realize you need to start the whole shit over, unplug it, the whole nine?
The problem is, instead of cutting it out, it'd be like 2% more. Like,
and you'd be like, I got it.
I got to keep them already in.
It's loading.
I'm at 98%. I'm right in.
And then you see error. That 98%. It's the error.
When it gets right
and then you got to start all the way over again.
Oh, my God.
Did it piss you off? Yeah, it's at 98%. It was right there.
It's right there.
Swag, are you sold on the current Sixers roster?
Nah, hell no. They need to start giving out chicken pizza again at the games.
Chicken pizza?
Chicken Pete? No, chicken Pete.
Chicken P?
It's like Philly cheese sandwiches. Oh my God.
What the hell this nigga talking about?
Chicken Pete.
Chicken Pete.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's fire, bro. Best thing everything about the game in Philly.
Chicken Pete. Chicken? Yeah, because you did play in Philly.
He did.
Yeah, I gave him like practice.
I ain't even know he played in Philly.
Wait, say it again, what?
I gave him like 30
Practice
on the
in
bench.
Philly was at a LA Fitness. I promise you.
Chickies and
They
Pete.
have their own practice facility?
At an LA
Practice in this
They have
class, people in there working out.
But they have a facility now. Allen Iverson has a statue at the Sixers facility, I believe.
Nigga, that statue is not AI.
LA Fitness.
It's a fucking child.
Excuse me, dog. Excuse me, bro.
Nigga, everything.
Excuse me, bro. Hey, bro.
Hit on the glass.
It was a gym. It was like a gym membership, bro.
We the Sixers, bro. We need to,
And they just tell you, I got to get a couple more shots up. Y'all can wait a couple more.
Watching this practice, working out on the machines and shit. Like, man, it's crazy, bro.
Media, y'all should now apologize to Allen Iverson again. Because ain't no way that superstar was going to LA Fitness.
It's a gym, man. I just said but it's a gym membership.
Yeah, you got a gym membership. Nah, that nigga got to be home, man.
Y'all got to wait. We got a member on the court.
Y'all selling memberships on his name.
Ain't that kind of like the Clippers?
AI gonna be here.
The Clippers was at the Spectrum.
The Weingart
YMCA, man.
The Weingart YMCA.
No way.
Down the street from.
No
used
way.
to go to train.
Y'all got to hold up. We got a Bible study going on right now.
No, it went to the Spectrum. That was the upgrade, but it was YMCA.
That's insane.
What am I supposed to do here?
Nah.
That was weird. It was weird walking in there. Like,
People ask for autographs. You walking through people to get to your car and shit. That shit is crazy, bro.
Shout out to the YMCA, though.
Man.
Have a good time. Get yourself a meal. Do whatever you feel. But that's not Gil not sold on the Sixers roster, I don't imagine. But Joel Embiid very engaged in his rehab, Gil.
Very.
Oh, he's engaged.
No, not engaged, Gil. He's very engaged.
So he's answering his phone.
So he's very engaged.
Yeah, I mean, what does that actually mean? Engaged means what? He's showing up to the gym? Is he saying, yeah, I'm doing it, boss? Like,
Easy.
What is engaged?
One Chipotle, bro.
Yeah,
One Chipotle.
what is engaged? Like,
One
he's
Chipotle
engaged in the
burger.
rehab, meaning he's okay and, yeah, I'm going to do this. Like, he just had another surgery right before or after All-Star break or before All-Star break, another meniscus tear. I mean, at this point, we got to ask the question, how much fucking meniscus he got left? At this point, probably 5% to none, which means he's going to have bone on bone, which is going to be irritating him throughout the season, which he's going to have to load manage again. Him and his body load managing means what? Going to be out of shape, overweight. I mean, okay, yeah, he's going to average 32 and 12, but yes. But how many games am I going to have him? He's going to actually have a chance to win games. Remember, at some point, there's going to be a point in time when even if you get the playoffs, there's going to be game every other day, traveling. His body at this moment in time will not be able to hold up because the structure is not what it used to be.
So my question would be then, is Philly's whole and sole problem
Yeah, especially big,
because
bro.
what I want to get to the root of, if he is, the question is, if he is ready to
How do
go
I get
Joel
over
Embiid, do they have an opportunity to make a difference?
If he ready to go.
So Maxey and him, just to say Paul George is still a question mark. You got McCain, you got certain guys that are gonna be ready to go. If he answers the bell, shows up.
Man, he got a chance to win one.
To me, like I said, I'm still not rolling with Philly, but it changes the way they look if he plays the way that we're not expecting him to play. Like to me, the positive side of what could happen if he does come back too early and all that is if he looks good.
They could win.
And if he looks
they
really
could win.
They look
right?
good,
Win what?
and the East is down.
If
No,
they come back,
I don't think they can win, but I'm just saying, but it will revitalize him. It'll revitalize him though. Like for him to come back and have a good season. I don't think we put the pressure on him to come back and have a good season and win.
No.
You just say come back
if
and
he
look
comes
good.
back, he's winning.
No.
If he plays 70 games and they come up,
But he's never played 70 games. That's the problem.
That's what I'm saying. If he does, if he actually comes back and he's like, yo, I played 70 this year. Y'all didn't think I was gonna play 55. That's what I'm saying. Like the outcome and outlook of Philly changes. Regardless if they win or not, it's like he played 70 games. This is how he looks to us now. Paul George, Maxey, what y'all him?
I don't know.
Man, it's crazy. I just let them spew some of their, opinions. Gil made a good point. Another surgery, meniscus tears, bone on bone, can be very irritating. The guy's like, damn near 300 pounds. Well, it's not, but you get the point. And like, can you rely on that? And he's not old. He's not getting younger either. So Paul George is not young. Paul George is damn near on the end of his career. Maxey is the new phenom, and you got McCain. Those are guards. You're gonna definitely need a superstar on that team. Another superstar. Well, not another superstar. Embiid is the only one. So you're gonna need put a good team together. Paul George is not gonna cut it. Not because he's not good. He's just not it. You feel me? Just not doing it right now. And and a lot of times, like I was saying to my idiotic cousin, that because he think he knows it all, telling about these players not taking their diet and their workout seriously to a point where they keep getting injured and not mitigating injuries. Not saying that's everybody, but again, another point proven. Joel Embiid is another guy, but it's always an excuse. They just play too many games. We play a lot of fast pace. We need to cut down games. The guy never played 70 games in his career. Obviously, some because of injuries, some because of whatever the case may be, but injury for the most part. And we're not going to sit there like, he's just getting injured because they play too many games. No. Some of these niggas are not taking care of their body, and they're coming out here trying to play 70 games, and it's hard. Obviously, unfortunately, some players get injured off non-contact, like Tyrese or whatever. But again, take care of your body. You get paid for that. So I don't think I think they need to, at some point, they got to do something with Joel Embiid. Let him go. Let him go to the Lakers. Because all my nigga Brian right there. Nah, but all jokes aside, they need to try to rebuild after this year. If there's no improvement this year, they got to try to change it. That team is fucking ass. This year, they were so fucking bad. Almost made me want to vomit. Ugh. So we need a new... This year, this is their last chance. We've been in the process. I'm saying we've been like I'm a Philly fan. But, you know what I'm saying? They've been in the process for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Decade. But yeah. Let's continue this bullshit.
Philly, the person that's in your way is your best player. It's not about his game.
I know.
If we say if he plays 72 regular seasons, we know playoffs might be because now the games are fast.
You talking about on the burnout side?
Just his body.
You say he's not gonna last?
The body's not gonna last.
Because he hasn't done it. Because he hasn't proven it.
You know what I mean? Structurally,
that's what I'm saying.
Structurally, his body. You're talking about. It's arthritic. These are arthritic bones now. These hips these are.
Hey, bro, what y'all don't understand, bro. We African. Joel is African. You know why Joel got all of these knees issues and leg issues? On paper, I believe they said Joel is 30. But truthfully, if you African, Joel wasn't born and raised here. So Joel is not 30. The truth is, let me tell y'all right now, the truth is, Joel Embiid is 45 years old. That's the truth. That's why he's struggling. He got these brittle knees and stuff like that and getting injured. He's not 30. He's 45. Same thing with Mutombo. Mutombo was 50 when he was 30 playing in the NBA. So that's all it is. That's all it is.
they're bad hips now,
Oh, you
right?
see him to play a 70 games.
Like, remember the year?
We can't
the year before.
We've been punishing him though.
He had 34 last year, not this year. 34.
The load management for him trying to play because he's trying to play more.
34.
So you can't play him less minutes.
So
you can't play him less minutes.
All you need to play
So you're not
75 games, all including the playoffs.
He's never. But you play 75 games, including the playoff, nigga. Your team's not winning nothing. You're not winning. Remember, he had the scoring title. I mean, he had MVP and scoring title, and got beat out by the Knicks because he wasn't healthy.
He just needs to win 20 in them playoff games. That's it.
Remember, he won MVP.
But no Tatum in Boston. I'm just saying, MVP like him. No Tatum. No Tyrese.
No Dame.
No, come on, he got
those games are going every other day. His body can't do it. Like, you know, comes a point in time where your body physically can't. I'm 100 today, and I play to 50. With a day of rest, it only gets me back to 75. It don't get me back to 100 like these young dudes. So I'm going into a second game at 75 to push me to 25 to get back to 50. Going to game 7s won't work for him.
But
he couldn't play in this championship round.
What's the reason why?
He would have been done game 6 and 7 physically.
Reason why physically is because what?
Bad habits.
He's
conditioning. Bad habits.
So
Thank you.
Like we just talked to this.
Hey, Alpha, you idiot. You rodhead. I don't even know what to call it. You want to say, we're telling you that these players are not taking their conditioning, their health and their fitness diet seriously. I'm not saying that's Jason Tatum. I'm not saying that's Tyrese. I'm not saying that's Damian Lillard. I'm just telling you in general. We're not talking about those three players in general. Player like Zion, player like Luka, player like Joel Embiid. They're not taking care of they're not focused on their diet. They're not focused on their conditioning. Not saying that's gonna stop 100%. That's not gonna stop them from getting injured 100%. But what it does, it will mitigate injuries. It will limit certain things from happening because you're conditioned, because you're less heavy. Buddy, you're a kid. Be quiet. You don't know. When you're heavy, you put more weight on your knees, buddy. And you're out there trying to run with these players. So you have to drop your weight. Because he just don't listen. Anyway, that's what I just wanted to put out there. My cousin is just, he think he knows it all.
Dude right here, right?
Henry Abbott.
If I was in good rapport with athletes, they would come to me and I'd get them right. All the way, 100%. Because I know what I'm doing, I've seen the results. When you trim down, not for the sake of I lost weight, for the sake of me finding out what my BMI is, finding out where my center is, where I can take my peak, so I can actually build from this. You got to take your body weight all the way back down to that. So when you do, you'll find out that you're a lot lighter than you thought. Like you didn't think you was scraping your feet when you walk, bottom your heels is because you fat.
Yep.
Right? You don't know you fat until somebody show you fat. Like, look, this all fat shit you doing. It's that
I feel like you're looking at me and telling me I'm fat.
No, you're not fat. You're looking at me. You just big bone. Big bone.
On behalf of fat people, we know.
You got big fingers.
We know when we're fat, we just don't care.
No, nigga, you gonna get fat when you get older. The Uncle Nick. Let me get a black. Let me get a black. Damn.
Yeah, good.
But we
Reaction to Stephen A. saying Giannis is an underachiever if he doesn't win another championship.
That is the most. Let me pause that. That is the dumbest shit I ever heard, bro. Stephen A, bro, please, like, you're doing way too much, bro. You're doing way too much. It's like that's like somebody saying, well, if Stephen A doesn't get another big contract or even bigger contract, he's a failure. Like, I mean, not a failure, underachieved. Come on, bro. You didn't achieve greatness. You didn't sign $100 million deal. Bro, that's greatness, bro. You're great at what you do. You can't look at other players' achievement and saying that they're underachieved. You crazy? Giannis can stop playing today. He's a Hall of Famer. So just cut that out, bro. That's not even, that's unfair. That's like a horrible narrative that you're trying to paint. And I think that's those narratives right there is the reason why the league is hurting, bro. Because you like, why you say somebody that got a ring, and if he end up retiring without another ring, that mean he underachieved? Come on, son. I know you're gonna try to give. What I was saying was, a player as great as Giannis, if he goes on and doesn't achieve win a championship, guy at that level, 6'10", can handle the ball, can dribble, can do this and then the third, can pass. He's a freak of nature, the Greek freak. My God, that's his nickname, right? If he doesn't go out there and do what he does, then that mean he underachieved. Stephen A. said, "Come on, bro. For years you've been getting paid millions of dollars, and your hairline is still far back. Is it fair if I say that you underachieved because you were never able to gain the other half of your hairline?" It's like, is it like border control? It's like they're closing a border on your hairline, like Trump did. Is it like you can't? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna say you underachieved. So I think that was just that's some hater stuff.
Stephen A. was tripping. Just to start at where Giannis started at.
Thank you.
You know, he wasn't the best coming in. You know, he had, you know, long arms, tangibles, right?
Spit it out.
Tangibles, that's the right word?
There you go.
Yeah. He had at
Use your vowel.
tangibles,
There
like
you
long
go.
arms,
There you go.
athletic.
Yes.
He was a freak of nature, and he worked for all that. It's kind of similar to Kobe.
Yeah, they be thinking Nick is
worked
dumb.
for his ball handling.
Yo, how do I get over there?
Balance and all. Balance, you know, getting stronger, and you got to take all that into a factor, man. Everybody ain't gonna win 6, and you got to get over that trying to chase Jordan, cause Jordan he didn't win the most out of everybody. Bill Russell, we never bring that up, you know.
Exactly, that is the most.
I say Giannis, man. I think he'll get another one though. He's similar to KD, you know.
How about you, Norris? Reaction to Stephen A. saying Giannis is an underachiever if he doesn't win another championship?
At first, I thought Stephen A. was like super tripping at first, but then I thought about who he was. He's comparing Giannis to like how we compare the Pantheons. Like he looks at Giannis as like a Tim Duncan type.
See, I don't like that.
Olajuwon type talent, like a Kobe type talent, Shaq type. And so he's looking at it from that perspective and saying, so from a basketball perspective, he's like, man, he's that great, and all of those dudes have multiples.
So, but why does it have to be a comparison? Why can't he be great?
Right. That's why I'm telling you, when I thought he was tripping, though, I was like, Giannis came from nothing and became what he is, so it can't be a disappointment in life. But from a basketball standpoint, I kind of was like, okay, if we're going to compare him to, if you're going to compare him and say he's one of the greatest power forwards or the greatest power forward, what do the other great power forwards or great players have? And they have multiple championships. And so from that perspective, I don't think he's tripping. I think if you're comparing him from a basketball standpoint.
Listen, brother, he is tripping. Like, because, yes, we understand comparing power forwards. Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward ever. He got 5, whatever the case may be. So, yes, Tim Duncan is an achiever, overachiever. Giannis also achieved. He might not overachieved, but does that mean he underachieved? No, he achieved a championship, 2 MVPs. He's gonna retire in the top 10 like scorers, all time. So I'm kind of a little tired and I'm, whatever. But so yeah, you can compare him to Tim Duncan. That just means Tim Duncan was greater than him. That's it. But that don't mean he underachieved. Like, come on, son. I just do too much with that shit.
So he can't be in the same conversation as like Tim Duncan.
So if that's the case, why is Michael even in the conversation of the GOAT? If we're gonna go by championship, then it should be Bill Russell and nobody else. It's like people pick and choose what they want to do. No, but Bill Russell, what? That man had 11, my nigga. 11. Shut up.
That's it.
So is Charles Barkley great?
That's it.
He's not saying he's not great though.
I'm not asking.
Yeah, Charles Barkley's
He ain't got
But that's
super
it.
So is Charles Barkley underachiever?
And Duncan the only one I'm
I'm just asking. Is Charles Barkley underachiever?
Thank you.
Huh?
Yeah.
I didn't, overall basketball, your opinion is Charles Barkley underachiever, no?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, because what else do you play for after you have all the achievements?
So that's all we play for?
No, I'm saying once you become an all-star, once you become defensive player or MVP or lead in rebound scoring like Barkley.
My nigga, if you win the league MVP, I mean, you was the best player in the league that year. Does that mean that's not an achievement? That's not as great of an achievement than a championship. Some might say, or most might say, because I believe that too. But that don't mean you underachieved, bro. You came in the league. You was an all-star multiple times. You made first team a few times. You also won MVP and went to the finals and lost because you lost to a better team. Does that make you an underachiever? Come on, son. What I would consider to be an underachievement is like Anthony Bennett got drafted #1, didn't do nothing, underachieve. Ben Simmons came and only did like 4 seasons, 5 seasons, no, 4 seasons where he played great and things like that. He underachieved. That's what I call underachiever, when there's high hope and high regards for you, and then you come and just sunk it. Like this is pretty much you saying AI was an underachiever, Charles Barkley is an underachiever, Steve Nash was an underachiever. He got 2 MVPs. So that argument just is so flawed, bro. It's like, come on now, that is so flawed. So that means Dirk is an underachiever, KG is an underachiever. Who else? Like, we can go on and on and on and on about it, bro. Come on, son. That's not underachieving, dog. Cut it out.
Barkley got all the other accolades. What else was he playing for? He wasn't playing for that.
So you telling me that
Carmelo
Iverson is an underachiever?
Yep.
You're telling me that Carmelo is an underachiever?
Yep.
You're telling me
That's
John
what he said.
Stockton is an underachiever?
Yep.
Like, you telling me some of these all...
underachiever, like, when it comes to championships, yeah.
No, but I didn't ask you about championships. I said underachiever.
But we play to win championships, bro.
Do we? Do everybody... That's what everybody plays for?
The Pantheon.
Everybody's going to win that?
Yeah, Kamo, I gotta agree with that. Nobody's out here saying, no, I'm not here for championship. Yes, everybody want to win a championship. Cut it out.
Pantheons do. Those are Pantheon players. You try to win. And if you fall short, you fall short. It's okay.
Are you underachieving?
You underachieve on the mission. You didn't win the chip.
He won one though, so how is he underachieving?
You know, this is Norris Cole talking. He played with Miami Heat. He won maybe 2 championships, went to the final, I believe, 3 times. So, based on his argument, that's why I say so flawed. There's more nuance to it, but based on his argument, he's more. He's not an underachiever because he got 2 rings, but AI is an underachiever. Charles Barkley is an underachiever because they didn't win any ring. But I guess he's talking about the standards of those players because they're so great as compared. But they didn't win a championship, so they underachieve. So I want to know, what did he achieve anything? Would he consider himself an underachiever, even though he got 2 rings? And like, what is, or is there a category, or is there like, because I'm like, what are we talking about? You won 2 rings, but I don't think you're an underachiever, and you weren't better than those players because they did more for the league in the league than you. I don't know.
If he won
now,
one, though.
He's comparing him to, I'm telling you from Stephen A's perspective, he's comparing him to like Tim Duncan's, the Hakeem Olajuwon's.
Bro, that to me that's a
considered
weak
great player,
argument.
period.
That's a weak and a lazy argument because that's just comparison. So the fact that, look, Bill Russell got 11, MJ does have 6. The fact that he couldn't get to 11 makes him an underachiever, because that's like 5 more, right? I know those are multiple championships, so I guess that's not a good comparison. So let's just look at it. Tim Duncan got 5. He got 1. Giannis got 1. I still don't think that's an underachieving. It's like, what more do you want? The league is tougher. It's more competitive. It's not easy to win. And sometimes injuries happen. Lucks. Some people are lucky. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do
We
here.
really honest about it.
Okay.
Hakeem has championships because fucking Michael Jordan stepped away from the game of basketball.
But he got them though.
So we're really talking honesty and facts here. Yes.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
He wouldn't have two. He might get one. He wouldn't have two.
And Shaq got some.
You asked me about Stephen A's point. I wouldn't have said what Stephen A said, but I'm looking at what he said. I think from a basketball standpoint, if he don't win more than one, I do think that's underachieving.
Why Shaq win?
So why are you saying it's only Stephen A. Smith? Just say I agree with him and I also stand with him. Talk about that's Stephen A. perspective. Yeah, but you believe the same shit.
Shaq got 3, 4.
And
who else he had played with though?
What you mean who else he played with?
Who else he played with to get some things?
He played with Kobe, Dwayne Wade. He played with.
Who Giannis played with?
Good question. Good question. Good question. He played with Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, and some other guys. Tim Duncan played with Tony Parker, Hall of Famer, Ginobili, Hall of Famer, Kawhi Leonard, Hall of Famer. What are we talking about? Tiago Splitter? Nah, he's not a Hall of Famer. But come on, bro. Come on, what are we talking about, though? Bruce Bowen, Bruce Bowen was an elite defender. And then they had lethal shooter, and they also had one of the greatest coaches of all time. And don't forget, Tim Duncan also played with David Robinson. Giannis played with who? And he went and did it without a super team. I'm not saying Tim Duncan had a super team, but you know, in some of those finals, Tony Parker won MVPs. Kawhi won MVP. Finals MVP. So that team was nice. That was nice.
By himself now.
No player can win by
He didn't win one with.
Oh, okay. So that's what. So that's what they want him to go out and do. So cool.
Yeah.
So shot to Stephen.
Everybody had like
your
the
reaction
main guy with him.
To Stephen A. said
his career ain't over with though. His career ain't over.
Just imagine achieving something and it's just not being enough.
Right? That's crazy.
All right, so let's talk about the metric. I'll let y'all cook. Shaq is definitely an underachiever. With the talent, he should have won 12.
Facts.
Oh God.
Oh man, Will
Chamberlain.
Will Chamberlain should have won 20 championships.
Facts.
By himself.
He
You know how many underachieving people there are in the world?
I think I gotta go to the other side.
Scratch the surface of winning 2 championships. 2. Alright, that's underachieving an achievement. Damn. That's backwards. Fuck. Because it comes from a backwards place and we're taking the backwards shit and we're moving it and now we're reversing time. And we're looking like, why would we say it's underachieving when he's achieving? Why would Charles Barkley be the dude that's like, yeah, I never won a championship, so my career was shit?
That ain't what we saying. Nobody said that, bro.
Actually, you said yeah.
That's not saying that. That's not saying that his career was whack. That's not saying the same
But
thing.
What
is an underachiever?
So what is the underachiever then?
Is it a failure?
To not win the chip?
Is the underachievement a failure?
You have achievements and unachievements in a career. You have some highs and you have some lows. It ain't just one is high and one is low. You have both. There's context. There's a such thing as context, bro.
So KG underachiever too?
Because he only got one.
Chip. He got one.
He only got one. He under?
Jordan underachiever? He didn't get Bill Russell stats.
There's achievement and underachievement in a career. Like, it's not just one. There's sometimes you achieved and some things you didn't achieve. It's okay.
Yeah, but Norrisco, you're making a great point, right? Sometimes you can achieve, sometimes you can underachieve. You're right. He won a championship. He achieved. MVP. He achieved. First team All NBA. He achieved. Defensive. I don't know if he made first team, but I'm pretty sure he made all defensive team, maybe all defensive second team, or whatever the case may be. So he achieved that. MVP twice. He achieved that. So what's left that he didn't achieve? Come on, son. You're talking about one being greater than the other, one career being greater than the other because they did it multiple times. So he achieved. The other guy just overachieved. Right? Because we're making it, whoever got the highest, that's the standard. And I don't think that's fair. The standard is to win a championship. Because it's not easy to get it. and not too many get to that position. So the standard is to win an MVP as a great player. And if he can do it multiple times, kudos. Now you're going for the greatness of the, you're going for the conversation of the GOAT or the best at that position. But overall, you're not an underachiever. That's just the facts. Like, yeah, you know, KG did not underachieve, my nigga.
Oh, wait, hey, let's find out. Let's find out.
So he underachiever?
Let's find out.
So no.
There's not one mark.
It has to be.
It has to be the.
What's the standard?
You got MVPs, that's achievement. You got wins in the finals, that's achievement. You got losses in the finals, that's not achievement.
We're talking about overachievement, Mark. We're talking about the overachievement, underachievement.
I don't look at it like that, and I'm not going to be back in the corner and say one is one. You won some in the finals, you achieved. You lost, you underachieved. Period.
So
we play to win the game. Giannis achieved the championship. Cool. His career not over. He might win more. But if he don't,
underachievement if he won the championship.
Yeah, so if LeBron doesn't win nothing, he underachieved?
How many I gotta win to be a?
That's what I'm. What is the number?
What's the standard? The question is, what's the standard? Because people are just saying it's like, yeah, it's like I said, it's a lazy argument, bro. What's the standard? It's so vague.
So what Jordan talks about, he failed a whole bunch in his career, and that's why he was able to achieve. So he got failures and achievements. He got both.
They all got.
So that's what. So what we talking about? Don't try to tell me what Stephen A. saying. I'm not Stephen A. But I'm saying I ain't Stephen A. Like,
so we're asking you. For you, for yo.
Yeah, you said
we're asking you. We damn Stephen A.
What's the number? What's the number to win to be an achiever? Like, what's the number?
Not two. It can't be one. They said one ain't enough.
One is not enough.
That's what we are.
So what is the number?
No, what are y'all arguing? What are y'all trying to do?
You said he's underachieving at one.
I said if he finishes his career and he don't win anymore, I would say it's fair to say that he underachieved.
So what's the achievement number? How many do he have to win to say that he's overachieved?
Or that he?
I don't think it's possible for him to.
So two? Let's say two.
You gotta say two.
I don't know.
It gotta be more than this one.
It depends on how they structure their team and all that. Like, it's a lot of variables.
You know what that's
Wait,
called?
what?
That's called moving the goal.
It ain't called goalpost. I keep stuff in context.
Let's say two.
Two. I'm not gonna say two because if he get a nice roster of team, two ain't going to be good enough. If he gets a nice roster team, so it's not one.
Just said that everybody that ever accomplished something ain't accomplished enough.
That's not what he said.
Y'all niggas ain't doing enough out here.
That's not what he said.
Listen,
that's not what he said.
He's saying, Giannis, your talent is so great.
That's not what he said, bro.
One championship is not
That's not what he said, bro.
We gonna call Stephen A. underachievement.
That's not what he said.
Hey, Gregory Hines, you gonna keep tapping?
No, I said what I said. His failures in a career and his achievements in a career.
What number is it?
What's the number?
Because
every person is different.
Has achieved.
He has
won. He has an MVP.
Giannis is like that. I think Giannis is the best player in the league. But he said if his career ends, which we don't know how long it's going to be. We don't know because if he gets a nice roster and he only get one more, then that is, if he gets a stacked roster, we expect him to win multiple more.
No. So that's my thing. So like,
it's context of everything. It's not just a flat out thing, bro. And you just try to make it seem like he ain't achieved nothing. Nobody said he didn't achieve anything.
No, he's making it seem like that.
He's not making it seem like that, bro.
I think he said that if he doesn't win a championship for his career, that would be considered like underachieving. So there's achievements, there's failures in your career, but overall, what Giannis did is not underachieving. He achieved. Simple as that. Now, if you're gonna say that the greatest power forward of all time is Tim Duncan because he got multiple, and Giannis can be in that conversation because he didn't win multiple, that's more than a fair assessment or judgment. But underachieve, just shut the fuck up.
He's not saying that Giannis didn't do nothing. Y'all know that. That's just
what the word underachieve mean, bro?
He could have achieved more. That's what I'm taking from it.
Okay, so
he could have achieved more.
Every single great could have achieved more, Norris. What do you call that?
What's the standard?
Could they have?
Yes.
So every single pantheon could have achieved more.
Yes.
If they stacked up on the same team.
If Michael Jordan won the NBA, Karl Malone could have won a championship.
Michael Jordan was in the league.
But he was. If he
Michael
wasn't,
Jordan is in the league.
But if he wasn't, he could have. Yes.
Hypotheticals.
Hypothetical. That's what we're saying here.
Okay.
Right?
Hey,
But my thing is, so everyone that I named, right, that didn't win one or won one by your metric and his metric is an underachiever.
That's turning into the narrative for all players that, hey, man, that's
if you
what
win, that's
Charles Barkley was just talking about the table. If
No,
you're not at the table,
we're trying to act like winning don't matter, though. Y'all trying to act like
Nobody
winning
said
don't
that.
matter.
You said
No, winning does.
Because he,
you gotta win more. Ain't enough winning for
What's wrong with him wanting to win? I want him to win more. What's wrong with wanting him to win more? What's
You
wrong with
wanna
wanting
win
to win
more.
more, though? What's wrong
There's
with that?
nothing wrong with wanting to.
What's wrong with that?
Just appreciate what he has won already.
I appreciate
appreciate you saying he underachieved.
In the grand scheme of life, Giannis is already. But in basketball, he can achieve more. And what's wrong with saying that? What's wrong with challenging him to want to achieve more?
But you're saying he's underachieved. You agree with Stephen A. saying he
If he stopped playing today,
no way.
Right? If he,
I wouldn't say if he stopped playing today, he's not
If he woke up tomorrow and be like, I'm fucking done.
I wouldn't say
if
he
he did a
underachieved.
Calvin Johnson,
I wouldn't say he underachieved.
woke up and said, fuck it, I'm done.
I wouldn't say he underachieved. I'd say he was an achiever if he stopped today.
But why does that,
So
how does that change?
How about next year?
How does that change from right now to 5 years from now?
How about
Because 5 years from now, you don't know how the roster gonna look.
Maybe I don't need to win.
so okay, so if you don't even know what the future will hold, how can you call somebody underachiever? Like, bro, someone else said some of these like basketball players are so bad. Like, yeah, they're a good player, great athlete, but they're so bad at like articulating themselves, bro, or making it make sense in real life. Like, I know they go back and be like, I shouldn't have said that. I know that happened to everybody, but not this frequent. You're just saying if he retired now, he's an achiever. But if he doesn't, if he retire later on, it could be considered underachieving because we don't know how the roster structure is gonna look. Okay, great. So why why not leave a room open to say Giannis has a chance to win multiple championships if the roster is, an elite roster, and if he doesn't do that, then he's considered an underachiever, which I don't agree with still. But it kind of put things in perspective a little bit, in the aspect of like, okay, I see what you're talking about. I don't have to agree with it, but I see why you holding him to a certain standard, based on those criteria, the team being elite, because we don't know what team they're gonna put together. Then so why go ahead and say that didn't happen yet, but we know one thing that happened. We know the things that happened. He won a championship. So why not say he's an achiever instead of labeling him as an underachiever? If he retired with just one championship, he's an underachiever because we don't even know if he's gonna have an elite roster. So it's like, come on, it's common sense.
Everybody gets better, so if he keeps winning,
winning is not the ultimate goal right now.
Nobody said that.
We just gonna stop and just be cool with what we got, and never.
I hear when people strawman like an argument, bro, or try to like change the narrative. That's not what the fuck they're saying. Nobody's saying winning is not that important. All they're simply saying, buddy, is he's not an underachiever because he achieved.
If you said
I ain't with that, bro.
If you said
until we hang them up, we gotta be trying to win all the time.
If you said I'm good right here, you said I'm good right here. You said Giannis is good.
I'm gonna wrap it up, man. I've been streaming for an hour. We get back at it tomorrow. Peace.